Good evening, friends. We shall take up a problem in CA Foundation, Mathematics and Logical Reasoning under that indices. A problem that we have in Institute study material, we shall take up for the purpose of explaining the point. This problem number 13, where it is stated as if x to the power 1 by p equal to y, whose power is 1 to the, there is 1 divided by q is equal to z to the power 1 by r. So firstly, I would like to write it here, item number 13 there, where it is x to the power 1 by p equal to y to the power 1 by q is equal to z to the power 1 by r. Right. Generally, the one that we write here, normally we call it out as a base. The one that we write as superscript to the power, whether it is in fraction or in whole integer, it will be printed in small in font size. That is going to be superscript, and the top of which we call it out as index. Correct? So basic observation made that in this particular case, x to the power 1 by p equal to y to the power 1 by q equal to z to the power 1 by r. And it is observed that x, y, z is equal to 1, equal to 1, is equal to 1. We are asking what is the value of p plus q plus r. This is what the question is all about. How do we crack this problem? How do we solve the problem? So it is an objective type question. The first alternative is 1, second alternative is 0, third alternative is half, last alternative is none of the above. So we are provided with the information like this. Now, how do we try? So generally an equation in which you have only one equal to sign, but in this problem we have two equals, and we have three unknowns x, y, z. How do we crack this problem? Now, I would like to suggest you either you take up everything in the form of x, or everything in the form of y, or everything in the form of z. So to start with, I would like to take up x to the power 1 to the x to the power 1 by p equal to y to the power 1 by q. So if I have to take up x without index, then what is that we should do? So 1 by p is to be observed as pth root, their qth root. If I have to write square root of 4, we will write as 4 to the power half. Correct? So this indication of an half should be understood as it is square root. If it were to be 8 to the power of 1 by 3, this is to be considered as cube root of 8. So the one that you have in the index, and in the index, whatever denominator it occupies, that being in this case 3, we call it out as cube root. If it were to be 16 to the power 1 by 4, we will call it out as a fourth root of 16. So that is why I said it is pth root. Is that pth root is what we have got to tell. These are the basic observation that we are making. So in order to remove that p away from our observation and make it as a whole integer without having any association with index there. So what we should do is that we will take up This is pth root. So we will multiply by p on either side. X to the power 1 by p to the power p, which I got to do it for the right hand side also. So we will take up p times of this particular base on the index. What will happen? X p into 1 by p equal to y into p by q. Now the left hand side x will become x to the power 1. X equal to y to the power p by q. Correct? Now I would like to put it this way that I would like to express everything in the form of y. So in the place of x, I would like to put it out as y to the power p by q. And y is always there, y to the power 1. Now let us just take up the other equation where it is z to the power 1 by r equal to y to the power 1 by q. Like how we have just done, that is equal to y to the power of y to the power of what? R by q. Is that right? How we have just done here, same thing we got to do. Into, in the place of z, y to the power r by q, which is equal to 1. Now everything is expressed in terms of so many y's. Now you can say it is y to the power of p by q plus 1 plus r divided by q, which is equal to 1. Right. Now q is common for all. So y to the power of q being a common base, p will continue to be there as p. And in the place of 1, it is q by q. So it is q plus r divided by q, which is equal to 1. So here is a place where you got to closely observe. This y can be rewritten as y to the power 0. So any number to the power 0 excepting 0 will get 1 as a final answer. So now what is that? We can bring out p plus q plus r divided by q, which is equal to 0. So I am taking up index to index as equation because we have common base. So now p plus q plus r equal to 0 because q into 0 is going to be 0. Now what was the question? P plus q plus r equal to 0. So the correct choice for question number 13 is 0. All the very best. Please have this sort of patience and do the basic works proper, and you get the answer in no time. Thank you.